Hi everyone, Michelle here. If you're watching this, I know exactly where you are. You're staring at a Hoya cutting that's turning a sickly shade of yellow. It's feeling a little mushy, or it's just dropping leaves for no apparent reason. And you're asking yourself that heartbreaking question, is it over? Should I just throw it away? Before you head to that trash can, stop. Today we are going into emergency rescue mode. This isn't just a how-to video. This is a how to save it video. We're diving into the science of why rot happens, the oxygen balance, the moisture levels, and those tiny microscopic nuances that decide if a cutting lives or dies. If you like today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That lets the word get out to the plant YouTube universe that my channel exists and that I'm out here releasing videos about Hoyas and their care every week. If you'd like to help out the channel further, please consider subscribing. With your help, I just passed my year-long goal to make it to 1,000 subscribers, and I greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to contribute to this video, please add a comment below. I read and respond to all of my comments. It might take me a day or two to get back to you, but I promise I will. And now let's get on to the video. First, I want to address the moss in the room question. You'll notice in this video I don't use moss for my rescues. I personally find that it can be a little too easy to oversaturate, which can smother a struggling cutting right when it needs to breathe the most. However, I want to be clear. Plenty of Hoya growers use moss with incredible success. If moss is the medium you feel most comfortable with and you've had a good result saving cuttings with it, then definitely stay with it. Consistency is key in a rescue. But if you've struggled with moss in the past, I want to show you why my chunky organic mix is the life support method I trust for my own collection. When a Hoya starts to rot, our human instinct is to nurture it, which usually means more water or burying it deeper in the soil to hide the problem. Don't do that. The number one killer of a struggling cutting isn't actually water, it's a lack of oxygen. Most of our Hoyas are epiphytes. The roots are designed to breathe. When rot sets in, you're likely creating an anaerobic or oxygen-free environment. Without oxygen, the cells at the cut-in die, and the dead tissue becomes an all-you-can-eat buffet for bacteria that cause rot. The fix, if your cutting is rotting in a dense, heavy mix, get it out now. That's why I use a chunky mix with orchiata bark and coarse perlite. It creates massive air pockets that act as a ventilator. We want the plant to reach for life, not drown in it. Now, before we perform surgery on a cutting, we have to see if the plant has funds to survive. Every cutting has an energy bank. If the mother plant was stressed, or if the cutting is already paper thin, the balance is at 0. I learned this the hard way with my Hushkeliana intervariegated. First rot set in, then the leaves turned thin as tissue paper before I noticed it. And so I took cuttings, but they were so badly dehydrated that I only managed to save 2 nodes. Now the survival strategy is key. You need to cut the stem until you see fresh sap emerging. For most Hoyas, this will be a milky white latex, but for carnosus and a few others, it might just be a clear sap. If the inside of the stem looks black, brown, or hollow, keep cutting upward. But just so you know, you only need to see the tiniest amount of sap to indicate a healthy stem. But otherwise, keep cutting because rot is an escalator. It'll keep climbing until it hits healthy tissue, so you do need to as well. I always prefer a 2 or 3 node cutting if possible. While that's really hard with large leaf species like latifolia, for small leaf species, having that extra node is your insurance policy. If the bottom node fails, the plant has a backup. The biggest reason rescues fail is the transition. You save a plant in a temporary medium like water. It grows a little bit of roots, and then you move it to its final pot. But that shock is often the final blow. By rooting directly into your forever mix, you develop tougher roots and avoid snapping off fragile new roots when you go to repot it. To give rescues the best home, I mix my own chunky Hoya mix in 10-liter batches. That's about 2.5 gallons, and I make it for about $19 a 10-liter batch. My current personal mix is as follows: 4 liters of orchiata bark, 3 liters of cocoa core chips, 1.5 liters of coarse perlite number 3, 1 liter of tree fern fiber, and half a liter of sphagnum moss. I do have a video deep dive on making my Hoya mix, which I will link above. Now, in a rescue, you aren't a gardener, you're a surgeon. Make sure to wipe your blades with 70% isopropyl alcohol between every single cut. If there's bacteria on your scissors, you're just reinfecting the wound. If your house is 68 degrees in the winter, that plant might essentially be dormant. Try using a heating mat that elevates the root zone temperature to 75 or 80 degrees. This triggers cell division and healing. And finally, humidity. Because the cutting has no roots to drink with, it needs to breathe in moisture through its leaves. Put your freshly potted rescue in a prop bin to keep the humidity high while those roots establish. Now look, even with the best protocols, some cuttings are just too far gone. And I want you to know that is okay. In this hobby, failure isn't a mistake. It's data. If you lose a cutting, look at where it failed. Was it too wet? Was it too cold? Every time you lose a plant, you're paying tuition to the School of Hoya care. Clean off the rot, recut to a fresh node if you have one, and try again. By shifting to a method you feel confident in, you're giving that Hoya its best possible chance. If this helped you stop the panic today, please hit that like button. Tell me about your cutting issues in the comments. I'd love to help you troubleshoot. And please don't forget to subscribe for more Hoya deep dives. And no matter what, don't throw that cutting away just yet. Thank you so much for joining with me today and for watching until the end. I know that there are a lot of things that you can do with your time, and I really appreciate you spending it with me today. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.